Let's talk about the brain in threat, or what happens when you're threatened, what happens when you're in danger. So when that smoke detector, when that alarm system goes off, what happens? First, let's talk about when there's no threat. It's pretty simple, right? You see this kind of funny comic right here. It says on the right there's the emotional, the midbrain. On the left there's the forebrain, the logical brain, and they're talking on the phone, and it's pretty easy. The midbrain is saying, "Hey, forebrain, hope you're well. Just want to let you know that everything's okay here, no threat." And the forebrain says, "Thanks a lot, midbrain. I appreciate that. I'll keep doing my abstract thinking, reasoning, and making executive decisions." Of course, the way that your brain processes information is not like that. This is just kind of a comic, but that is essentially what's happening when there's no threat. When there is threat, it's very, very different. So let's say something is happening and your midbrain, your amygdala, assesses threat. And so the alarm goes off and it's danger, danger, danger. Well, when that happens, it bypasses the forebrain, it bypasses the logical and thinking brain, and it has a direct communication with the hindbrain, with the essentials, and that's what you see in the graphic here. Danger is assessed. There's an automatic connection with the hindbrain, with the reptilian brain, and the ANS, that stands for the autonomic nervous system, gets activated. And again, remember, that controls the essential functions. So for example, your heartbeat most often will go up. If you get physiologically activated, you might start sweating. It's going to activate the fight, flight, or freeze response. Fight and flight means you would be very activated, ready to fight, ready to go, and freeze means you would tense up and not be able to remove yourself from the situation. And of course, we'll talk about that in the next presentation. And you see on the left side of your screen that there is no communication between the midbrain and the forebrain. It doesn't make logical sense, pun intended, because you would think that when there's danger, it would be good to have your thinking, rational mind online so that you can make the best decision possible to protect yourself from that danger. But that's not what happens, and that's absolutely the key. If you don't remember anything else, remember this screen from this presentation, because this is the most important part when it comes to somebody who you're working with. If they're triggered, if their trauma is triggered when you're working with them, whether you're a therapist, educator, probation professional, group home staff, whatever it is, remember this slide or remember this graphic, because when the forebrain, again, that has to do with thinking, that has to do with rationality, that has to do with the ability to make decisions. When that is completely offline and the ANS and the hindbrain and the reptilian brain is activated, then of course there's going to be behavioral outbursts. Then of course there's going to be an inability to follow simple directives. So that's why it's super important to understand these three levels of the brain and how they act when threat is assessed, when danger is assessed by the midbrain, and when the ANS is activated through the hindbrain.